All right, so last week we started picking football against the spread, the NFL. It was a rough week to do it. I mean, first of all, we picked on Wednesday. We're not going to do that again. We'll do our picks on Saturday, so we have more information.
Yep.
Like who knew Dak Prescott wasn't going to play? It's a game time decision, and
even though we both won that game, by the way.
So. But they still covered. They still covered because they're the better team. But we didn't know that. So
I don't think he's going to play next week either, is what I heard.
No, he's playing next week. He's playing next week.
Well, I just read something that he might be out for a few weeks.
No, I read he's good to go.
Oh, okay.
He says he's 100% and good to go. That's the information. But neither here nor there. We're not picking that. So today we'll pick Thursday's game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk a little bit about our picks last week. Disappointing. So again, we picked against the spread. We didn't pick straight up because we would have won a few more games if we were just picking straight up. But that's kind of a wussy way to do it, especially in this year's NFL with the haves and the have-nots. It's too easy to pick it straight up. I mean, you got 17-point spreads. I mean,
right.
It'd be a little bit too easy to pick that. But having said that, large spreads. I know we picked Bills Texans. You picked Texans. I picked Bills. But when we picked it, the line was 14 and a half.
14 and a half.
But it moved to 16 and a half part of the game, and they didn't cover in that spread.
You know what's funny about that game is they were up 38-0 with like 8 minutes to go. That's a bad beat, dude. That is a bad beat.
And again, we talked about this when the NFL partners with Caesars or whoever, they start partnering with gambling houses. The look of impropriety is going to affect you. And so, again, the line moved to 16 and a half. And then the Rams let the Texans score 22 unanswered points.
Yeah.
Thereby not covering. It's a bad look.
In 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very bad look for the NFL. And they better take that seriously or they're the new NBA. I mean, they don't want to do that. So they better look at that. But having said all that, I went 6 and 8 in my picks. You went 7 and 7.
Went 7 and 7. Which was a good week. This week. It was a weird week.
It was a weird week. I wasn't totally unhappy. What I was unhappy with was a couple teams from the great state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Were, oh my God.
Yeah.
Bengals, Jets.
Yeah.
The Bengals had the best record in the AFC going into that game.
Yeah.
Their defense looked awesome. Burrow's gonna burrow. He looked, he's good.
I think he went 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Right. I mean, look, there's no way the Jets win that game. They're playing their backup quarterback who's never started in the NFL. There's no way they win that game, right?
Yeah. He's from Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
And we'll get it further into the Jets here in a minute for the Thursday night game. But that was a very weird, fucked up game that, I don't know how. Okay, maybe I could just leave it there. I don't know how.
So. Yeah, I don't know how. So the Bengals screwed me. You too, I think, right? You lost that game.
Yep.
And then the Browns. These are 2 historically bad franchises, right? But they're looking good this year. Have some success. But I guess you got to go back to historically thinking about them because it just screw you if you bet on them.
Well, I mean, I think we talk about this all the time about specifically Bengals, how their ownership is trash. They don't pay people. They're cheap asses. And they got so much talent, but I just think that filters through the organization, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And the Browns, obviously, historically bad. Well,
But, you know,
that's not true because in the 90s with Belichick before they moved to Baltimore.
Right.
But
obviously successful co-star in the 80s and all that crap. But anywho, I'm just not going to trust them anymore. Take them with a grain of salt, both those franchises. So you got to mitigate that in your mind, how you bet. So, and then the other kind of shocking to me, because I thought the Buccaneers were the best team in football. That was my belief going into the weekend. So kind of a shocking result, but not really. It's a division game. They did play in New Orleans, but still.
With a backup quarterback, though.
Yeah, with their backup quarterback, as they lose James Winston for the rest of the year.
Yep.
That well done. I mean, their defense really stepped up. Stepped up.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, so that's kind of shocking. So I wasn't totally embarrassed by my 6 and 8, whereas normally I might be. But
and then the Chiefs. We thought this was going to be a bounce back week. I actually won that game.
Yeah, you thought it was too many points, and obviously you're right.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs won, and it's really hard to win.
Yeah, they won the game, but it was a lot of points.
But it didn't really feel like it, man. It didn't really feel like it. We talked last week about the Patriots running up the score on the Jets and how they kind of needed to do that to get their confidence.
Which worked. They beat the Chargers. I mean,
right.
That's a good.
So I mean, I feel like it almost feels like the Chiefs win because they didn't do that again. I mean, they're still Kelsey's dropping balls. Mahomes just doesn't look quite as sharp, although that one throw, that submarine.
That was
throw,
nasty. I mean, he's crazy talented. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, yeah. But still, it feels like that they need to explode like they always have to get back there. They just haven't really been able to do it on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
They had the one good game, but I mean, so there's something weird going on there, man. And obviously their defense sucks. It continues.
And I think it's because they let their ego get in the way of
probably
because they're
so
like,
used to
we're so good that we should be able to bomb it every time or stuff like that. We should score 50 points every game.
Right.
Well, you know what? In the NFL, that shit don't work.
Right. It's funny that their first drive, they're dinking and dunking, but they're moving the ball. I mean, at one point, I think Mahomes was 8 for 8 or 10 for 10, something like that.
And running it, by the way.
Yeah. And then the interception in the end zone, and it just kills that. I mean, of course, they got the ball right back because Giants coming giant. But
Danny Dimes gonna Danny Dimes.
Yeah. So that drive, that first drive, like okay, they're being patient. They're doing a sustained drive, and it's working. So you feel like they've got something here.
Yeah.
And they don't do it again the rest of the damn game. I don't know. They're baffling. They're really baffling.
Yeah, I think so. This is what always gets me. So, I was thinking like in comparison when the Colts offense, I think it was like 2003, 4, 5 ish, because we were always hitting bombs to Marvin or whatever, and it's like, well, yeah, we were, but we were also because they're doing a cover 2 shell against Mahomes, so that's all they're doing. But Peyton Manning was patient and okay, I'll take what the defense gives me, and then we'll still score. We're still going to score, and I just think Kansas City needs to get in that philosophy because, and it doesn't hurt. To me, their defense is so bad that they should do that anyway. Take more clock off.
Let me ask something. Is it because you put on the sweatshirt that you automatically go Homer?
I always go Homer.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, dude.
Homer's gonna Homer.
So we're gonna pick the Thursday game. You'll get to talk about your Colts plenty.
No. I was saying the comparison because it's such a high flying offense.
But you literally could have picked any team. You could have picked the 2000 Rams. You could have picked any team and you win.
Okay, we can go
with
with
school Colts, man. Just you put a T-shirt on. You just go. Hey,
wait, hold on. You think I would go to another team besides a high flying offense like the Colts?
No,
you're crazy. Come on,
not for a second. But speaking of the Colts, real quick, we got a shout out from former Colt, Pat McAfee, on his show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a mind-boggling response. So thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for the love.
First of all, he's an awesome guy. It's a great show.
Yeah. Terrific.
He has a bunch of good guests on all the time. He's
awesome.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers every Tuesday. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's a big score, man. That's big time.
Well, AJ Hawk, I think every day.
AJ Hawk, man. I love that guy. Just puffing away on the cigar and stuff.
Yeah, which is like, damn, dude.
And he gets his haircut at Sports Clips.
Sports Clips, yeah. Yeah, so
I'll have that dude come to my house and cut my hair.
I love his hair, actually. I wish I
love Sports Clips though. Someone's coming to
me. You wish you could pull off his hair because he actually has it.
Yeah,
but
all those, they all have lovely hair. All of them.
I know. McAfee's hair is fantastic.
Yeah.
I know you don't like that he doesn't wear sleeves, but
yeah, I mean, what's up with that, man? I mean, this guy had a lucrative NFL career. I mean, he's probably making literally tens of thousands of dollars per annum on his podcast and such. So I know it's a lot more than that. But the fact is, the guy has money, and yet he can't afford sleeves for his shirts. What's up with that?
Yeah, I got like really long sleeves.
Well, he always comes out guns a-blazing every day.
Hey, man, if you got the guns, if you got the guns, you got the guns. What do you want?
Yeah. No, just jelly. But it's
very jelly.
He's broadcasting from Indianapolis, right? It's cold there, right? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty chilly.
The no sleeves, man.
It's pretty chilly. Hey,
I see his crew has hoodies and pullovers on.
Yeah.
Guns ablaze.
No, I always find that funny, but
funny.
Hey, man, your style is your style.
Yep.
I dig it.
So Thursday's game, man. Colts, Jets at Indy.
Wait, can we get into one more that I want to get pissy about? Atlanta Falcons. We both picked Atlanta. They were -3. I'm never picking Atlanta ever again. Even if they were up 100, they'd still lose the fucking game somehow. So
yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it ever again. I'll never pick it.
Atlanta team I'm going to pick is the Braves.
What is the series at? 3-3 now?
It's over last night, you asked them. Or the Stros lost last night. So
oh man. They didn't get to cheat last night. Okay.
I'm sure they did. They attempted to, I'm sure. Also, okay, if you don't want to delay the pick, let's talk about a little bit of NFL news, a little housekeeping.
Yeah. That's what another one I want to get into about.
Von Miller goes to the Rams.
The rich get richer, man.
I mean, and for free.
For free.
In his salary. I get it. They gave up 2 picks, and they don't. So next year, I don't think they have a pick before 100 or so. So what? Who cares?
A second and a third.
They've got a great defense, and now you can't even double team anyone.
Yeah,
there's too many.
Well, you got Donald, who is going to get double teamed anyway, and you don't. Yeah, he still will. I mean, it's insane. You got an edge rusher.
You can't double team everybody, man. No, you might get a chip. You might get a little chip, but you can't, because now coming from the other side. Von Miller coming at you.
Who's the other end? I can't remember his name, but he's starting to be really, really good.
Yeah, because of all the attention paid to Donald.
Right. But now
now that's That's
You
over.
got Von. I mean, this is shaping up to be like remember that Giants D line? What was that?
Yeah.
07, 06, 07. They had Human Yura.
07, when they still had Strahan, they had
Human Yura. Who was the Tuck?
Tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was and that defense ultimately gave them the Super Bowl that year. So.
Yeah. I've never seen a quarterback get beat down like that.
They kicked the crap out of Brady. That's too much. That's too much coming at you, man. That's too much coming at you. I think it's a sweet deal by the Rams. I saw sometime that's saying that the Broncos win because of the picks. Oh, okay.
Well, you're gonna find Von Miller in second, third round.
No, you're not gonna find Von Miller in second. But then we're talking next year anyway. They'll probably be looking for a new coach at that point. Because, Fangio is not that good.
I can't believe he's still around. But okay, sorry.
So you had that trade, but then you had some big injury news. And I think the biggest injury news coming out was Derrick Henry.
Obviously.
And I said last week, I thought the Titans were the best team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the cog. That's what moves everything is Henry, the threat of Henry, the actual Henry. So without him, I mean, that it changes their team dramatically.
Yeah, it actually gives the Colts a chance, to be honest. And then
take the sweatshirt off. Take the sweatshirt off.
I don't care.
It gives everyone a chance.
Care.
It gives everyone a chance, man. It gives the Bills. Now the Bills, are they the best again? Although it took them a while to get going against Miami, but again, division game. But it gives everyone a chance back in the AFC because the Titans were the class. They were the class. They may still be. Maybe their offensive line is so good that someone else can fill up shoes. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Chairman of the board throwing off cornerbacks like they're nothing.
Yeah.
No one else can do that. No one else can do that. That's a big hurt. And it's going to change their offensive philosophy. So that's huge.
It changes the whole thing because not only does it change their philosophy, but their defense is gonna be on the field a little bit more and get exposed. I think a little bit more.
Yeah, everyone does because everyone's got their defensive backs. I don't know what's with the rash of injuries throughout every team's DBs, but it seems like everyone's injured, so no one's deep there. So if you have any injuries there, they're going to get exposed.
Yeah,
it changes everything. It changes everything.
Yeah,
and it was likely to happen when you run a guy that much. It's likely to happen.
Yeah, so it was in his foot. I think they said it's like the pinky toe bone or the bone in his pinky toe or whatever that bone is called.
What they called a Jones fracture.
Yeah, like Jones fracture. Yeah.
So unfortunate for Derrick Henry.
No, that sucks.
Unfortunate for the Titans, but everyone else in the AFC, now's your chance. You better take advantage of it.
So you're saying the Bills are the best now? Is that what you're saying?
Probably. I think someone's going to rise above. It's probably going to be the Bills. Probably.
It might be Baltimore. I don't know.
With that beating they took from the Bengals, I don't know.
It ain't going to be Kansas City. I know that.
No, not the way they're playing. Not the way they're playing. It's not. So everyone else has a chance. So, but it doesn't matter. I think the NFC is so much stronger. So the tide has turned. It's now the NFC is the power conference. First decades it was the AFC, but now it's the NFC.
Yeah, who's the best in the NFC? You think?
Oh, the best, probably still the Bucs. That's a division game. But the Rams.
I would say the Rams, but
probably. But they're the two best. Green Bay is up there. That's another Aaron Rodgers.
Good segue.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He's got the corona. He's got the virus.
He's got the Rona.
He's out. When asked if he was vaccinated earlier this season, he responded to, "I'm immunized." Don't know what that means. But you're asked a direct question, have you been vaccinated? And you respond I'm immunized.
Well, so we disagree. We disagree on this point. I think that means yes. Yes,
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm immunized.
I think you were just wrong. No, you were asked a direct question, and you got to get cheeky about it. That means no, you're not. No, you're not.
No, it means fuck you.
He's using the same doctor that Carson Wentz is. To go back to your homer, he's using that same doctor.
Why you keep talking about the Colts? Jesus.
But that's big news. So he's out. He's out this week. They play the Chiefs. So
yeah.
Really don't know how to pick that game now. So I got a few days to think about it. But now I don't know how to pick that game.
Yeah.
You got no Aaron Rodgers. We're going to see Love play for the first time, which is I think will be cool for everybody, especially Packers fans. They got to be a little bit excited about seeing this guy in a real game.
Yeah, Packers really want to get off Aaron, and if he,
that's crazy.
Obviously it's crazy, but if Jordan Love plays well, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, they're gonna start getting excited. I think, but
he's probably gonna play well because it's damn Chiefs defense he's playing against. So he's probably gonna look really good.
It's a nice opener. It's a nice opener. And he gets all the receivers back, I think. You got Devontae Adams coming back.
Yeah. I was excited for them. You got Jameis Winston's out for the year.
Yeah, torn ACL, and did he tear the MCL or just strain it? I
don't know, but he's out for the year.
But he's out he has a torn ACL, but you know how that thing works. If you tear them both, that's like even longer. Yeah, that's
Adrian Peterson stuff. Who, by the way, has been signed to the practice squad for the Titans, and he's like 52 years old, I think. But he's gonna be on the practice squad.
Well, he's younger than me, so let's calm down, okay?
Yeah. I don't know where it's going with this. Yeah, I don't know. Shit.
All right,
so I guess we've got any NFL headlines.
No, I think that's about that. That's the most or the biggest ones. So
Phillip Rivers, I don't know where it come from. I don't know if it came from him or if it actually came from.
Well, you never have another baby.
He's got another mouth to feed. So Phillip Rivers, I think, put out the fact that he would listen to the Saints or anyone else who's interested in a quarterback thing, which I thought he was coaching high school football. So
he has like, well, I get it because he has like 38 kids or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Let's just go into tomorrow night's game.
Yeah. So
Colts.
I'm sure it's probably really sexy for the rest of the country. Scintillating matchup between.
I'm sure it's going to be watched by millions upon millions.
This is the game where you need the Manning cast.
Yeah, that's true.
For the rest of the country to have something to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to generate a lot of interest.
Well, you got a 3-5 team and a Jets team that is
two wins.
They're two, but they have a backup quarterback to their non-really starting quarterback.
But played well last week.
Yeah, 4 touchdown passes, 400 yards.
400 yards. Mm-hmm. Was that a fluke or?
Yes.
Did you have a guy already?
Yes, it was a fluke. Yes, it was a fluke.
What's the line on this game, man?
It's at 10.5 right now. It'll move a little bit, but not much.
It'll move down to below 10, I think. It'll probably go to 9.5.
I would say 8.5, 9.5, roughly around that area. It's not gonna go below a touchdown. I'll tell you that.
So at 10.5 means I'm kind of leaning towards the Jets because that's a lot of points. It's over 3 scores or 2 with a touchdown. But at 10.5, that's a lot. If it moves down below, it kind of changed my opinion. If you get to a field goal touchdown, I'm more interested in that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of in the 10 range. weirdly that the half point is that big of a deal, but it kind of is. I mean,
that's why they throw the half point there.
Yeah. So
Vegas. Yeah.
I do believe Colts are going to win.
Straight up, they win.
It's at home, but I'm feeling kind of like a 10 range.
Yeah.
I'm obviously I'm not going to bet this game. I don't bet on any game that my team's involved with. So I already have enough on the line. So yeah, don't you think like it's in the 10 range, right?
Yeah, I think they win straight up. I see them winning by 10 points. 10.5, because we need that next score.
Well, and then you got Carson Wentz. That's the wild card.
So I sent you that article reporting about Teddy Bruschi's comments on Carson Wentz, and I've been saying this ever since we got the dude.
Yeah.
So essentially, Teddy Bruschi said that the Colts. He was talking about the Colts Titans. Said they'll play really well, and then Carson Wentz will do something incredibly stupid to cost them the game, which is exactly what happened. I think Teddy of the national pundits is probably the only one who's been watching Colts games, so he understands. If you're just reading box scores, you don't get. Yeah, he's throwing touchdown passes. He has very few interceptions. Well, that's just because the ham-handed defenses we've been playing can't catch the ball because he's throwing them right to him. He's making stupid mistakes all the time.
All the time.
He will cost you. I mean, it's just mind blowing how stupid this guy still thinks he can do a left-handed shovel pass out of his own end zone.
Yeah. Actually, McAfee brought that up.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, after the fact. I'm sorry, Bruschi called it before him.
No, I know. I'm just saying. He's like, this dude I mean, it does. It just drives you insane because it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's craziness what he does.
But even when it's going well, though, he's going to give the defense opportunity of balls. So if the Jets defense is
he's like Brett Favre. He's like Brett Favre.
Yeah, a little bit of gunslinger. Yeah. He has to see you open. He can't anticipate you getting open, so he throws to the spot where he sees you. And when that happens, man, these are professional defenders, man. They're quick. They will close on that ball. And if your receiver's not doing a good job of boxing them out, it's an interception, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
you have to know where the open guy is going to be. It just seems like he really doesn't know pre-snap who's going to go open.
Yeah, well, there's two things. So, quarterbacks say what's the biggest difference between NFL and college? It's those windows aren't there.
No, it's speed, man. Speed.
And then DBs say what's the difference between NFL and college? They're like the quarterback puts it in such a place that it's craziness how accurate these guys are. And I'm not saying Carson's not talented because he is very talented.
He's obviously talented.
But well, yeah, I mean, but I'm saying he's actually really talented as far as NFL standards as well. But I just think he tries to make hero plays too much. So there's always that opportunity, just like Brett Favre. But Brett Favre's a Hall of Famer. I'm not comparing him to Brett Favre or anything, but
right.
I'm just saying in the mindset, like Brett thinks he can squeeze into any.
Well, he could back at the top of his game. That dude. Whew,
yeah, but he's also gonna give you opportunities. So because he thinks like that. So I think he has the same mentality. But what I do love about Carson is once he does make those mistakes, I don't think he dwells on it because
he doesn't. Dude's got zero memory. He's got the memory of a goldfish, but he has to. The only time
he's like, what? I threw a pick? Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. Sorry.
He literally has the memory of a goldfish.
But sometimes you have to, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because you got to go out there and do it again. But he's dwelling on last week's loss. He's lucky it's a short week because he cost him the game throwing the late interception last week in overtime. that pretty much sealed the deal. So he had to dwell on that. You can't. It's not like you're going in for another series and you can wash that off. He had to live with it.
That play infuriated me so bad.
Yeah.
He had the check down.
Man,
Taylor would have still been running, man.
Yeah.
He'd still be running.
Right there. you just need a field goal to win. You're driving the ball. Taylor's right there. What are you doing?
You're in the driver. You're in the driver's seat. This is literally, and you had no pressure. It wasn't like you just slung it.
You slung it to the deepest guy who was triple covered.
Yeah.
Who triple covered.
Yeah.
Jeez. If that guy's triple covered, somebody's uncovered. Okay, that's just facts. That's math.
His name was Jonathan Taylor.
It was Jonathan Taylor, by the way. So
and then you know how Taylor is. Taylor's a great running back.
He's good. So how do you see the game? What if you were betting, where are you going?
At 10.5, I'm going Jets. If it drops below that, though, which I think we both kind of anticipate.
Yeah, they're trying. Depends on how much. Look, they're going to get the New York money first, so they want that New York money by giving the Jets fans an enticing line. Hey, we're getting 10.5. We just won. So yeah, once they get that money, then they'll want some Indy money. So they'll move it.
I got Colts by 10. So whatever the line ends up being, I got Colts by 10. That's my pick. Colts by 10. I anticipate kind of like a 34-24 kind of score, because I think the Jets will still score on our defense.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing: the line's at 10.5. You just don't want to say you're picking the Jets. You don't want to say the words, because at that line, you're picking the Jets.
I got Colts by 10.
Does it bother you so much to say that?
I got Colts by 10.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm going to say the words. At 10.5, I'm taking the Jets. I'm going to take the points and take the Jets. Yeah, I mean, it's just too big a number, and I'm getting sick of these big lines. I'm really getting sick of them, man. But that's a big number.
Well, yeah, but it's, you know what? Screw it. I got the Colts over the 10.5. I got them by 14. I got them by 2 touchdowns. How about that? If you want to, because it's so close, because I really do believe the Colts are going to beat them. I got the Colts. You got the Jets. How about let's just say that. You got the Jets 10.5. You're going to eat your shit tomorrow night.
I hope so. I hope so. I like to see it. I think the Colts are going to score on them. And again, Wentz is going to give the Jets opportunities to take that ball away from us.
Yeah, I think my only problem is I don't know the Jets defense that well. Yeah. So I don't know how good they are. I know
they stymied Burrow.
He had 3 touchdowns, man. What are you talking about?
They stymied him for a while, and Burrow is a better quarterback than Wentz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's how I go.
Okay.
Are we done here?
I think we're done here.